Hello, and welcome to this Anatomy in Clay video production. In this video, we want to go over assembling your CANIKEN Classic model and give you some tips to help you out. In your box, you should have received a CANIKEN base, quarter-inch all-thread support rod and nut with PVC support tube, a head and neck component with removable jaw and trachea attached, thorax component with removable sternum, a sacrum component, left and right forelimbs, as well as left and right hind limbs. Notice that the hardware used to put the model together is partially secured in the hind and forelimbs, as well as in the sacrum component. Inside the thorax, you will notice the two 3/4 inch screws keeping the sternum attached to the thorax. Also notice the two 5/64 inch set screws partially attached. Lastly, you will see the two 1-inch screws in the thorax. These are used for attaching the forelimbs. Let's begin by removing the PVC support tube and nut from the 1/4 inch support rod. Now gently thread the support rod into the hole located in the sternum. The rod should be threaded deep enough so that it can be seen inside the thorax. Roughly 3/4 of an inch should be visible. Now we can reattach the PVC support tube. The tube will seat only one way. Make sure that it is correctly positioned so the sternum sits flush. Next, we can insert the rod into the base. While holding onto the model and the base, tip the model onto its side so the bottom of the base is facing you. Start the 1/4 inch nut by hand, then grab the provided 7/16 inch socket. With one hand holding the model, use the other hand to gently tighten the nut. Do not over-tighten. The whole assembly should be tight enough to prevent the model from wobbling. Also, the support rod should not protrude beyond the bottom of the base. Now we can tip the model upright and position the thorax lengthwise with the point of the sternum positioned over the two holes that are closest to the rod on the base. Next, we can attach the sacrum component. Align the steel post in the sacrum with the hole in the thorax and insert. Now we can tighten the set screw with the 5/64 inch Allen wrench and make sure not to over-tighten. Now we can attach our head and neck component. Start by aligning the steel post with the hole in the front of the thorax and insert the component. We suggest removing the trachea. This gives us access to the set screw that holds the head and neck component in place. Use the provided 3/32 inch Allen wrench to remove the 3/4 inch screw that holds the trachea in place. Once that is removed, take your 5/64 inch Allen wrench and snug the set screw. Now your head and neck component is set. Reattach the trachea with the 3/4 inch screw we removed earlier. Make sure you attach the 1/4 inch nylon spacer after the trachea. Start the screw by hand, then finish with the Allen wrench. Do not over-tighten. Let's move on to attaching the hind limbs. Start by removing the 1/2 inch screw from the sacrum. Next, remove the 5/8 inch screw from the limb. Place the hind limb in the base. Now we will align the holes. Now you may need to lift the sacrum to align the holes. Replace the 1/2 inch screw we just removed from the sacrum. Start the screw by hand, then snug with the 3/32 Allen wrench. Repeat the same process with the other hind limb. Remove the 1/2 inch screw from the sacrum. Remove the 5/8 inch screw from the limb. Place the limb in the base. Align your holes. Replace the 1/2" screw we just removed. Snug with the Allen wrench. Now we can push the pin together in the pelvis. For the forelimbs, let's start by removing the 1" screw that is attached to the thorax. Now we'll remove the 5/8" screw from the forelimb. Place the limb in the base. Position the limb so the holes are lined up. Grab your 1" screw and slip it through the hole in the scapula. Start tightening by hand, then finish with the 3/32" Allen wrench. Repeat the same process for the other forelimb. Remove the 1" screw. Remove the 5/8" screw from the forelimb. Place the limb in the base. Slip your screw through the hole in the scapula. Start by hand, then finish with the Allen wrench. Now we are ready for the tail. Simply align the still post with the corresponding hole in the sacrum and push. Lastly, we can attach the 5/8" screws we removed from the limbs. Gently tip the model on its side again. Start the screws by hand, then snug with the 3/32" Allen wrench. Do this in a crisscrossing pattern. Now we can gently tip the model upright. Congratulations! You've successfully assembled your CANIKEN Classic model. Now that you're familiar with the features this model has to offer, it's time to get some clay and start building. We want to thank you for joining us for this Anatomy in Clay video production.